Hey, and welcome to this session of Day Trading for Beginners. Today we have a special guest. This is Ramona. And the other day she said to me that she had an interest in day trading, but had no idea how to get started. And so I asked her to write down a list of questions and suggested that we do a video because I think a lot of people have those same questions. So thank you, Ramona, for joining me today.
Thank you.
And why don't you fire away with your questions?
So I know nothing about trading, and I wanted to know what the first step is to get into trading.
All right, well, the first thing that you have to do before putting money in a brokerage account or anything like that is learn how to do it. There are a lot of people who say, well, day trading looks really easy. Anyone can do that. And the reality is, because there's no barrier to entry, anyone can open a brokerage account, people think that anyone can do it. But that's sort of like saying anyone can do heart surgery. It takes time to learn. And so take the time to learn how to do it, whether you take courses, read books. We offer all kinds of courses and that sort of thing. And there's lots of information on the Stockscores YouTube channel to help you get started. But make sure you learn. That's the number one thing.
Okay. What are the must-haves to be able to start to trade?
Okay, so you have to have capital. But actually, that's not the first thing you should have. So we want everyone to learn how to trade first. Then you want to practice. And so I created a simulator at tradescores.com where you can just practice trading without using real money. So there's nothing to lose. You can learn a lot by doing that. And I really recommend that once people have a base of knowledge, they practice with our simulator, then you have to open a brokerage account. You have to learn how to use their software. And then you fund your account with capital and start trading with real money. But to start trading tomorrow is a bit like saying, I'm going to start doing heart surgery tomorrow. You need to go to school first. So Start with school, practice, fund a brokerage account with capital, and then you can start trading.
Okay. What type of account should I get at the bank?
All right, so there's different types of accounts at brokers. The first thing we want to think about is what kind of broker. And you want a brokerage that specializes in active trading. So when you go to a bank, oftentimes the brokerage account that you can open with them is geared toward that longer term investor. You need a brokerage account that sort of specializes in active traders. So you want to search that out. What you're looking for is a good platform to do your orders. You want to be able to buy and sell very quickly.
Okay.
You want low transaction costs, but don't get free commissions because there's nothing free about it. We'll talk about that in a bit. And then you need to fund the account, and you want to probably have a margin account because a margin account is going to give you more buying power. Now you can trade in retirement accounts. So in Canada, there's RRSPs and TFSAs. In the US, there's 401ks, that sort of thing. But they don't always allow you to have margin. If you're going to get the most bang for your dollar, then you want to have a margin account. So the way it works typically is if you put, say, $10,000 in a brokerage account and you're day trading, you're going to get $30,000 of buying power with that $10,000, provided you close out your positions before the end of the day. Okay. So you can really leverage your capital when you have that kind of an account. There's a big caveat, though. No one should have a margin account until you learn how to trade, because margin is a double-edged sword. It's risk. And with risk comes potential reward, but also comes potential pain. So, you can maybe open that margin account when you begin, but I really discourage people from using margin until they've learned, until they've practiced, until they've become good at it. Like anything, once you have the skill, then you can use some of the more advanced things.
Okay. How much money do I need to start?
So this comes down to the amount of capital that you're going to trade with, and I want everyone to start with zero. So I don't care if you have $50 million, start trading with $0 because there are some lessons to be learned by actually doing it. Okay. I can teach you through my courses what to do, the basics, the advanced things, but you still have to practice. Right. And so that's why we built that simulator at tradescores.com so that you can practice for a while. Now, once you've practiced a little bit, then start with a small amount of capital. Maybe you have $100,000 of cash. Start with $10,000. If you have $20,000 of cash, start with $3,000. Your job in the beginning is not to make money right away. Your job is to learn. And it's the on-the-job training you're sort of going to the school of stock trading in the real market. You don't want to pay a lot of tuition. Right. Every time you lose money in the market, you get a lesson, but you've also paid some tuition for it. You get the same lesson whether you lose $50 or $5,000. Just one is more painful. So, then the other part of your question, which is really how much money do you need? It comes down to what is your time worth. If you've got $5,000 of capital, you're going to be able to have $15,000 of buying power. That'll allow you to trade 2 or 3 stocks a day. And maybe you can make $200 or $300 a day doing that. Is that worth your time? If you have a job that pays you $1,000 a day and you're going to be a day trader trying to make $200 a day, it may not make sense to you. On the other hand, that may be what you're looking for. I want everyone to start slow. Trading is a skill to be acquired like anything. And if you can start by making $100 a day and then step that up to $200 and then to $500 and gradually build not only how much capital you use, but how much money you can make from it, you're going to be a lot better off, because the great challenge for trading is controlling our emotions.
Okay.
If you put money in that you can't afford to lose, you're going to be emotional and you're going to make mistakes.
Right. So how do I determine the type of trader that I should be, or investor?
Okay, so there's 3 styles that I teach anyway. There's position trading, swing trading, and day trading. Position trading, we're holding stocks for weeks or months, and it takes maybe 15 minutes a day, or for one of my strategies, only about 15 minutes a week. Swing trading takes about an hour a day. Okay. You don't have to do it every day, but there you're holding stocks for a few days to a couple of weeks. And then day trading is much more time intensive. You're going to be there most of the day, and you're only going to hold stocks for within the day. So in other words, by the end of the day, you close out your positions. Now, what style you do comes down to 2 things. First and foremost, what do you enjoy? I love day trading, so that's what I focus on. I love swing trading. That's what I focus on. You may not want to sit in front of a computer for hours at a time during the day, so day trading may not be right for you. If that's the case, then you're going to focus on position trading. Okay. The other thing is skill. Intellectually, all 3 styles, at least in terms of how I teach it, don't require any more intelligence or brain power. They're all the same. The rules are very similar. But when you're position trading, which is the longer term style of trading, you've got lots of time to think about it. When you're day trading, you got to make those decisions quicker. And so you sort of practice with the longer term style first, and then you move to swing trading, where now you're making your decisions that much more quickly, until you get to the point where you can make really fast decisions because you've practiced, and then you're going to be able to do that style.
Okay. Are there any costs to trading?
There are costs. And so this goes back to the earlier question where I said there's no such thing as free commissions. You'll hear lots of brokerages these days advertise no commission trading. So one of the costs is the transaction cost to buy, the transaction cost to sell. That's usually between $5 and $10 a trade. There are some brokers who will advertise no commissions. But what they are doing is getting paid for your order flow. So if you say I want to buy a stock at $10, they will take that order and they will try to buy that same stock in the open market for something less than $10, maybe $9.95. And in doing so, they take that little nickel. And on 1,000 shares, that's actually $50. So what started out as a commission-free trade may have actually cost you $50 because you didn't get the best price in the market. So one of your costs is the transaction cost. The other cost is your brokerage platform.
Okay.
This is where you're going to buy and sell and do your analysis. Some of those platforms are free. Some of those platforms can cost a couple $100s a month. Don't shy away from the platforms that have a cost. I use something called TradeStation. It's $99 a month. It is worth every penny because I can find more opportunities. I can make faster decisions, and therefore with that tool I make more money, which really pays for the cost of it. So you have to decide what broker you're going to go with, what's their platform, what are their fees for that platform. Many brokerages will give you their platform for free if you trade enough. So you do like 30 trades a month, you get the platform for free. Otherwise you pay $40 for the platform fee. But I think what's most important is that you pick the platform that suits your style of trading. I'm a day trader primarily. I teach all styles of trading, but I like to day trade. So I use the best analysis platform for me, which is TradeStation. Yeah, it has a cost, but it is outweighed by the benefit that I get from it.
Okay. So how do I pick my very first stock?
All right, so assuming you've done the work to learn a basis of knowledge, and assuming you have learned a strategy, you're going to use the tools that help you find those things. So I own Stockscores.com, obviously. We have a tool for swing traders and position traders called the Market Scan, which we can look at here. And so assuming you wanted to be a position trader, for example, you're going to run a scan like this, where I select this Abnormal Breaks US scan. I run it. I can do this during market hours. I can do this in the evening. I can do this on the weekend. And I teach you very specifically what to look for in these charts. What it really comes down to is finding stocks that break out from predictive patterns. So that pattern there is something called a pennant, and there's a price break, and there's an increase in volume. These are the things that I'll teach you to look for, and you can see what happened to that stock. It went up quite nicely. Now this tool is what I use for position trading or swing trading. If I'm day trading, I'm using TradeStation, and you can, if you're a member of Stockscores.com, an active trader member, you can use something we have called Active Live, where I show you my screen through the day and you can monitor that. You have to learn how to do this stuff. And I've touched on sort of the basics of a strategy, but it takes me more time to really go into the detail of that. So something people should always keep in mind is that we have upcoming events on Stockscores all the time. You just go to the trader training menu, upcoming events, and there's all kinds of free webinars that you can register for. And log into those, because in the course of an hour, I will teach you a little bit more about how I operate, how I do this sort of thing. And maybe you and I can do more videos as well talking about the basics. If you think that's a good idea, click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll try to get Ramona back for some more basics of trading and so forth.
Okay. So out of all the courses that you teach, which one would be helpful for me to start with?
So everyone would start with what we call the foundation. So when you buy either my investor course or my active trader course, it starts with something called the foundation, which is giving you the basis knowledge, which really gives you the theory to be able to play out my strategies. Now, if you're not ready for that yet, there's so much content on the Stockscores YouTube channel. I've been putting videos up for years. Just go through. There's lots and lots of lessons to be learned. That's all free. If you want to take it to the next level, then you start thinking about buying either our investor course or active trader course, where you can learn that stuff, and you get support from me. All of my students get the support directly from me. I don't have people doing that for me. And it's a process. Give yourself a couple of months to learn, practice, and then you can start trading with the real money.
Great. Well, thank you. That's all the questions that I had.
Great. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed this. And again, if you want to get Ramona back for some more, we can do some more day trading basics type videos. Just click on that like button and leave a comment. And hopefully we'll have her back soon. Thanks, everyone. Trade well.